Hey, what's up YouTube? So I'm back with another pickups and this one's pretty sweet, I must say so myself. We got some wicked stuff here. I went garage sailing, went out nice and early, but most of the garage sales were just crap. I mean, people advertise video games, but they came out with like 2 loose DS games and it's like, really man? I drive all the way up here and you come out with 2 loose DS games. I think it was like Sims Pets and Cats or Dogs or one of those stupid games. But yeah, I'm about to pack it in. It's done for the day. I actually ended up cutting it early because there's just nothing here. I mean, it's just dead. And I was heading back home, and right down the street from where I live, there was a garage sale. So I hit it up. I just walked down there, and it was packed. There was a ton of people. I picked up some stuff, you know, just looking through it. I didn't expect to find any games. They had a couple Xbox games and stuff, but there was a box right by my feet. I looked down and it said Nintendo 64 and I'm like, oh shit dude, Nintendo 64. So I pick up the box and I open up. It was still taped down, but I asked the lady if I can take a peek inside of it. I didn't want to seem like an animal just kind of ripping through this box. She opens it up for me and she's like, everything's in there, and I'm looking in there, I'm like, holy shit, there's a Nintendo 64, there's like 15 games in here, I want this. So I had to ask her son how much he wants for it. So I bring it in, I walk into the garage because that's where he is, and he's just getting bombarded from every angle from people asking him questions, right? So I'm just kind of, you know, being patient. I've got it in my hands. I closed up the box to make sure nobody gets any ideas to try to snatch it from me. So I'm just holding it there, just patiently waiting. And this old lady, she's about like 50 years old or something. Some people at garage sales just have no shame. I'm holding this box, right in my hand, it's a small little box. I'm holding it, got the Nintendo 64 stuff in it. I'm about to ask the kid how much it is. And what does this woman do? She opens the box and starts digging through the box while I'm holding it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I switch it to my hand. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm holding the box and you're digging through it, and whatever, man. This woman's just crazy. And she was negotiating with this guy. He had a big binder of Pokemon cards, of all original Pokemon cards. He wanted 30 bucks for it, and she was offering him 10, and she was really insistent on 10. She went up to 15 on it, really pressuring the guy, like really trying to put the pressure on to sell it to him for 15. The guy's sweating, he's not comfortable selling it for any less than 20. So I'm like, you know what? Just for what you did to me earlier, I butt in there, and I'd start negotiating the deal for the Pokemon cards. I just took a complete robbery on this girl, and I'm like, that's for treating me like, that's for being an asshole to me earlier. And so I'm just looking at the cards and all that, and I can feel her breathing down my neck, looking at the Pokemon cards. She finally walks away, so I kind of like look over my shoulder. I'm like, okay, she's gone? Okay, she's gone. Then I start looking through the Pokemon cards, like, okay, you sell these individually? Because I only want a couple. So he's like, yeah, I sell them individually. So I picked up a couple, and I'm just going to throw this into this video because, you know, why not? Picked up Machamp, Ninetales, Poliwrath, Hitmonchan, Mewtwo, Nidoking, Gyarados, Blastoise, and Raichu. So I pretty much just gutted all he had. I took out all the good ones. I think it only came out to like, and there was a bunch more because I got it in sheets. And he wanted like $2 a sheet. You know, there's 9 cards on a sheet. So I got like $10 worth of sheets, which is well worth it. There's a lot of wicked stuff in there. I got a bunch of other ones too, but those are just the highlights. Anyways, now to get to the video game stuff, what I picked up from this one garage sale. I picked up the Pokemon Gold and Silver strategy guide. Picked this up for $1. And I also picked up Diamond and Pearl strategy guide for $1 as well. And about the Nintendo 64, I kind of forgot about that. I started asking the kid how much he wants for it. He didn't want to sell it. And I'm like, oh no, man, of course he doesn't want to sell it, right? Finally, usually when I go to garage sales, I only find 1 or 2 games. I never find a stack. I never find a big pile. Finally found a wicked pile, and he doesn't want to sell it. So I'm like, oh shit. Of course he doesn't want to sell it. I'm like, God. But anyways, he's like, oh, but I do have a Super Nintendo that I'd be willing to get rid of because I have no emotional attachment to it. And I'm like, yes, that is so much better than Nintendo 64. Unfortunately, he couldn't find it. So I left my phone number with him. He lives right down the street from me, so whenever he finds it, he's gonna give me a text, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully I could pick up a nice Super Nintendo lot. But as I'm still looking through his stuff, he comes up to me, he's like, oh hey, you interested in GameCube stuff? I have some GameCube. And I'm like, I'm definitely interested in GameCube. He's like, yeah? So I'm like, it's cool. He's like, he was gonna run in and bring out a bunch of GameCube stuff. So he brings out a big box of GameCube stuff. I'm looking through it. I'm looking through a few games. He says there's 10 games in his system, and I'm looking through it, and I'm like, wow, these are really quality games. This guy had awesome taste in GameCube games. So I ended up making a bundle deal. I picked up a bunch of stuff from him. I left like $80 there. Picked up a lot. I mean, not only did I pick up Pokemon cards, I picked up a bunch of other stuff. I picked up his Wicked, Spider-Man picture, and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm rambling too much. You guys just want to see the games. So it eventually paid like $80, and I did the math afterwards, and it came out that the GameCube bundle was like $40. So this is what I picked up. The first game in it was NHL Hits 2003 in a really, really beat up case, but it's okay. Everything else was really good, and that's complete as well. And it came with the GameCube system itself, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a controller, but it came with the cables, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a controller. And also, it came with, what is this? Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events. It's complete. NHL Hits Pro. It's also complete. I love those NHL Hits games. Metroid Prime. Now we're starting to get to good stuff. This is also complete. Soul Calibur 2. Complete. Actually, all of them are complete. I'm not going to say it over and over again, but they're all complete. Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This one was kind of intriguing when I saw it. I didn't know what it was. Lost Kingdoms. Definitely a cool looking game. Phantasy Star Online Episode 3. This one is pretty cool because when I opened it up, it actually came with 2 games in it. It came with the appropriate game for the case, and it came with Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. And I was really surprised to see it. This game's pretty expensive online. Unfortunately, it has no case, but it's okay. I'll still try to sell it off and recoup some of my money. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Star Fox Adventures. When the NHL Hits case, the NHL Hits 2003 case that was really beat up, was actually Star Fox Adventures, but I did some changing around with the cases, so I ended up putting Star Fox into a really nice case. But the insert was untouched, which was really surprising considering how mangled it was. Animal Crossing. Super Mario Sunshine. Surprisingly, I did not have this in my collection. And last but not least, the game that I wanted the most out of the whole bundle, and I was super excited to get. I never in a million years would have thought that I would have been able to pick this game up, especially at a garage sale in a bundle like this. But that is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, in absolutely mint condition. I'm super excited to have this. Just absolutely amazing. I never would have thought I'd have this in my GameCube collection. So after he brings out the GameCube games and I look through the box and all that and I'm done, he comes up to me again and he's like, you interested in any PSP games? I got a bunch of PSP games I don't care about. And I'm like, yes, I care about every single game you have. Bring it all out. Let me see what you have. I'll buy them all off you. So he brings out a handful of PSP games, and for the most part, they were just like the Family Guy movies and a couple of other movies, but he had one game in there that I was interested in. So I picked it up. It was only $2, and that was Tales of Eternia. It's complete. It's in really nice shape. He really took care of his games. But what intrigued me the most about this is that it's a European game, and it was never released here in North America, and I didn't find that out until after I came back and I did research on it. But I was really caught up on like, wow, it's like a PAL game. Like, why is he obviously had to bring it in in a special way, like online or something. So he didn't go down to EB Games or whatever. So it probably cost him. It was pretty expensive. So it was really surprising that he'd sell it for $2. And when I came home and I looked it up, I was really surprised at how expensive this game is. And I was just like, wow, awesome. You just never know what you're gonna find at a garage sale. Apparently, that was definitely worth it for $2. So the last thing that I picked up from this garage sale, I wanted to put this in at the beginning of the video, but I completely forgot about it because I was babbling on too much. But I'll just throw it in right here at the end as a little bonus. I picked up, well, not me actually, my girlfriend picked up this Charmander, this original 1999 Charmander plush for only $1. And that's an awesome deal. Anytime I can find these original Pokemon plushies, definitely worth it to pick it up, especially for $1. So yeah, guys, that's everything I picked up. Pretty good day considering the garage sales were a complete bust. They were all just crap. We went all over town. Who would have thought that the best garage sale was the one actually right down the street from where I live? I didn't even have to go out. I didn't have to go anywhere. I just had to go right down the damn street, and that's the best sale. We went all over the town and nobody had anything. So yeah, guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.